blood spilling, farming, and doing all those usual things. Also, we have a topic of discussion today. Not sure how many of you are aware, but there's a little Reddit video that also got picked up by social media about the TFD schoolgirl outfits, and I'm here to judge the public reaction, so that's what we're going to do. All right. Okay, I'm setting up the goal. It is 30 super chats, but in actuality, I'm going to need 10 more than that. But there's no option to select 40, and I can't do custom goals on YouTube because their system is backward. So we'll see what actually happens. But I have set the goal in accordance, and I am ready to rumble, I guess. Excuse me. Okay, let's go. And I'm also going to start up a poll. Okay, just simple set of options today. Here we go. And people can vote in accordance as well as have their say about this matter. If you don't know what's up with this, then, you know, you don't have to say anything. It's completely fine. I'd probably prefer it that way anyway. Let's rock, roll, and rumble. I'm gonna go set up my shenanigans. Hello, Kabak. Good to be here. Can't really complain.
Humanity is very weak.
Okay.
That's why humans need us so desperately.
No, high-rise society, as it would violate the clean stream policy. So if you're not aware of it, then I will not be sending a link to the video, no. However, it was picked up on social media, and several other people on social media, including Twitter, picked up on the same video. So, yeah, it's a current issue, but I'm not going to send a link, no. You'll have to dig through Reddit if you want to find it. Again, like I said, because I'm under strict rulings, but I feel that it's something that should be discussed for those that are aware. So, yeah. Essentially, though, the video itself was just, think of it this way. It was a video of one of the characters running in the outfit. And, yeah. Yeah. Lycanthropic, I do not have any interest in extraction shooters at all, unless I'm sponsored to play them. And quite frankly, there's no buzz around the series other than a few media outlets talking about it. There was somebody that claimed to approach me about it. I told them my rate, but and I also told them that I was already an official Nexon content creator, but they never got back to me, which I think is pretty embarrassing. So if they weren't even able to offer a creator like myself a sponsorship to do videos or content, it means they're quite cheap. And if they're going to be quite cheap about it, then to me that's pretty sad. That's very telling of what state the game might be in. So I have not much interest in it, and I think that they have kind of spoiled the situation, at least in terms of what I feel. I could always be wrong, but I'm the kind of guy that says, I don't think I am wrong. Or at least I'm usually not wrong. So I'm going to use the last dagger. This doesn't even matter. I play in 2K. Why? Why is this your question, Agial? If I may ask. I'm just curious why you asked. Could I potentially use the firebrand? Firebrand is not great either. It would be nice if I could, but it's not good enough. Actually, wait. I could, but I would need 2 components just to get the additional range and duration. $4K right now is very rarely used, but if you're not a streamer, you can still get good frame rates on it. I prefer my frame rates over everything. I don't really care about resolution. For me, the only thing that matters is frame rates and lack of stutter. But the unfortunate situation right now is that, well, their optimization, while it's definitely better than it used to be, still leaves a lot to be desired. In fact, right now I'm going to go into Tormentor. Oops, sorry. That's the Void Vessel. I'm going to go into Tormentor, do a little bit of farming. And I don't know how it'll feel, but hopefully it won't be too bad because it's pretty rough sometimes when loading in. But yeah, I will say again, most of the time there's no point in playing in 4K. I haven't uploaded Sharon's build, and I don't know if I will. I may if I choose to, but yeah. There will always be stuttering in this game. All games these days are extremely poorly optimized. I believe that most of the time we let the devs get away with it. Now, things have been better. I will say that much, though. Things have been better lately. But overall, the stutter has remained quite bad. And, of course, it's a lot worse when you play in groups. Oh, they made more, Eddie? I just knew the one. I just knew the one video, but fair enough. What happened now? I would suggest checking it out on Reddit. If you are unaware, then you might want to remain blissfully unaware. But otherwise, you can go and see. I cannot discuss it, obviously, because of clean stream policy. Yeah, fair enough. So it has gotten worse, hasn't it, Eddie? What a shame. I never use frame generation, Agel. That is usually the worst. Optimization-wise, they have definitely gotten a lot better this particular patch, but I don't use frame generation. I find it a gigantic waste of time. I think that overall TFD is one of the better ones now. They've worked pretty hard on it. Monster Hunter Wilds is one of the worst, but surprisingly, they've also worked hard on it. I am finally able to get almost 60 frames consistently while streaming it to you guys in 1440p resolution. It's 2K. So, I think that they're working on it, getting better.
Face the flames. A victory for humanity.
Like I said, if you're relying on frame generation, it means that shit's already hit the fan, if you forgive me for saying. The very second you have to rely on frame generation, you're done. At most, you can rely on upscaling, but once you rely on frame generation, it's, you know... yeah, it's usually pretty bad. So, on any game that you play, never rely on frame generation. If the game cannot run smoothly without frame generation, then first try and optimize your settings for the game. That doesn't work, that means it's entirely on the game's end. Then you have to wait for them to patch it, because... trust me, relying on frame generation is one of the poorest gaming experiences I've ever seen. I know a lot of people are like, yeah, we rely on it, but every time I've played a game, maybe it's because I'm very used to like having a high reaction speed on games, but I feel like my gaming quality absolutely suffers anytime I rely on frame generation. I've tried multiple times, but God, it just feels terrible. So... for me, I cannot. The very second, if I ever have to click, but sometimes when a game comes out, right, and they say tips to get better frames, and they say some stupid shit like, oh yeah, you know, I'm going to use frame generation for this, and you can get 120 FPS. I close out of the article and I look up the article's author, and I never listen to them ever again. Any good technical article should be able to teach you how to get 120 frames without frame generation.
Impudent bastards.
But very rare that most games can do that. TFD was pretty good, but there's a couple of secrets to optimizing your settings. However, a lot of this you have to know your PC well to do it. Because optimizing your own settings, you do need to know what you have, what your hardware can handle, all that kind of stuff. Yeah, Eric Liera, they removed it because some absolute idiots said, oh, we can't see Serena's posterior. Take note that I have to have a clean stream policy, so I have to use some creative language here, Eric. But that's exactly why. People said, oh, we want to look at Serena's posterior, so turn off her wings. And so they did, because, you know, catering to... the Gooners is exactly what they do, because it's just good business, right? It's very good business, very good business. It's the best business deal ever, I tell you. It's the trade secret of trade secrets. Just listen to the guys that want to see, that just want to, you know, walk around seeing cake, you know, even though it's all up in armor. Oh, but don't worry, because they're going to release a bikini skin for Serena, so now that her unique quality of those beautiful wings Yeah, you know what? You don't need those beautiful wings, right? You just need bikini skin with cake. In fact, just have the whole bakery in there and it's
New
totally fine.
subscriber
Yeah,
detected.
yeah, that's exactly what happened. So, congratulations, Dragon Killer. Enjoy yourself, but just be aware that things will not be going very good for a very long time. So just so you know, Dragon Killer. That's exactly why they removed them, Eric. Listen, Agyal, I've seen the world chat a couple of times before, and yeah, degenerates who don't touch grass is a complete understatement of what they are.
We can do it. I have punished the wicked.
I'll say what I've said on previous streams again. Very simple, very simple. If we were at a lunch table, and my lunch table always has a bunch of ladies at it, you know, a bunch of guys, a bunch of ladies. That's called friendship. That's how we all hang out in a healthy social situation. If any of these people were to ever sit at my lunch table, the ladies would get up and leave. So yeah, degenerates is an understatement. And Kakashi, here's the thing. They say they'll make a toggle for the wings. Did you know that they mentioned already in the past that they said that they would make a toggle for the wings when it was first supposed to happen? I explained to everybody, this change is bad. Why do they want to remove something unique to Serena? And then everybody told me, oh, but the devs said they'll make a toggle robot. You don't have to worry. So where's my toggle? Oh, it's not in the game yet. And now they're promising a toggle? You sure about that? I don't think they're going to fulfill those promises because apparently the only people they cater to or appear to cater to is, people who would not be, will not be, yeah. Let's just say I don't want to cater to the people that they cater to. Iris, are you new to the game? Just want to know how new you are to the game if you're asking this question. Are you very new to the game, totally new, or you got some experience with the game, but maybe you're just asking questions to learn? Okay, if you're, yeah, it doesn't really tell me. Could you be more specific if you don't mind so that I can understand how to better educate you about the information that you're seeking? How new are you to the game? If you missed it, then you can go search around on Reddit. I will not be discussing it, obviously, due to clean stream policy. 1 week? Okay, fair enough. Well, in that case, Iris, welcome to the best and only channel for TFD that'll actually help you. Now, your question was, Void Intercept HP will increase if you do co-op? Yes. Okay, when you go to any Void Intercept battle, now this is just to show you an example, but you can do the same on your game. I'm going to remove my camera for a second so that you can see this. Do you see this option down the bottom that says Battle Info? Battle Info will show you all the stats about the Colossus that you're about to fight. In this case, we have the Tormentor. You can see its max HP and shield. You can also select the number of participants in the battle, meaning the number of players, all right? So if I were to increase the number of participants, just to show you, 2 participants, do you see the HP and shield practically doubled? 3 participants increased again to about 3 times. 4 participants is about 4 times, okay? So now you understand. It's the same. The scaling is the same across the board, okay? Whether it's enemies, bosses, colossi, the scaling is the same. More players, enemies scale up so that they're tougher, okay? There you go. The question, Kakashi, and listen, I'm very happy with your response, but do you really think they've brought any good content skins and balancing lately? You're welcome, Iris. Player numbers don't seem to be telling that situation, but we'll see. Worst case scenario, next week we fall down to about 6,000 peak. Exactly. So that is exactly why you have to care. If we stop talking about it, if we continue to just say, "Oh, but they'll do well. The devs will eventually do some stuff." What proof do we have that they will do anything at all? How confident are we? Because I personally lack any confidence in them right now. I want to have confidence, believe me, I do. I really do. I think having confidence in them is great. But they kind of need to earn that. The Blair update wasn't good, of course. I don't have to take that with a grain of salt. I was the one that said it wasn't good. So I agree with you wholeheartedly. It absolutely wasn't good. You ask me, they need to do better. Well, you see, that's the whole problem, though. Why should this game be dying? This game has so much potential. That's what I'm annoyed about. The fact that it has so much potential, and yet we're all in this state where we say, yeah, game's dying. Why is that a universal agreement? Greetings, Starro. Nothing wrong with not caring about this skin set, David. Believe me. I do not disagree with your thoughts. That's the thing, you see. Why are we accepting that our game is dying? Doesn't really work that way, in my opinion. I say that if we care for something, we fight for it. That's the only reason I'm still around. Correction, one person makes videos about it. That's me. But, yes, I do want better. Well, one person makes good videos about it. And that's me. Hey, Cody. Hello, the one. How are you? Anyway, I'm just hoping that they do better. Because the people deserve better. Oh, I was on my wrong setup. Makes a lot of sense.
I will cleanse this place.
What gun is good for bossing? It's not a gun. It's a build, Iris. So you must know which builds are good for bossing and which ones are not. Thankfully, my videos are very simple to follow. If my video says farming, it's for farming. If my video says for boss killing, it's for boss killing. Agyal, I never give my thoughts on other TFD content creators, especially not by name. I simply make the statements I do, and asking those thoughts on my stream would also be wrong, so I'm just going to remove that message. Because as a professional, I never give my thoughts directly on any of these things. All I'll say is, make your judgments for yourself. Because there's only one place anyone comes to anyway. That's right, Iris. There are builds for farming, there are builds for bossing. You need to follow exactly. Well, the one, I don't follow or care about any game that isn't sponsoring me, so I don't worry about that. If a game chooses to sponsor me, then I'll worry about it, or unless my friends are very hyped for a particular game, I'll worry about it, but otherwise I don't. Because most of the time, it's a waste of my time to think about it or worry about it. But if they do want to sponsor me, then that's always welcome. Well, Kakashi, that's the question to ask, isn't it? Hey, Track. The question to ask is, why are the devs so wishy-washy? They said at first that Valby and VS are the baseline. So now they said, oh, let's shift the baseline to Freyna and NS. So if Freyna and NS are the baseline, then Valby and VS need to be buffed. Then this means that all the people before that told me VS is the baseline, huh, Asian robot, you're wrong. Now they're wrong. Okay? That's the issue. That's the issue. Sorry, 1 second. That's the exact issue that I had in the first place, Kakashi, which is why I don't fully support everything that they do. I like the devs. I did. But now, it seems like they don't have a clear vision. Now, I'll answer the rest of your questions in a second. I choke after putting this on, but this is so good for my lips, so. I gotta keep my lips soft, you know? That's exactly the problem, Kakashi. No one cares in the Discord because they seem to give their attention only to certain things. On me, I find games very fun. I wouldn't be a streamer or content creator if I didn't. But I do separate work and play. What does that mean? When I play a game that I'm streaming for content or for work-related matters, I take all my personal emotions out of it. I completely take all my personal emotions out of it, and I treat it solely from a professional perspective. However, off camera, I may play for fun or do things for fun. Hope that answers your question. Track photon disruptors are only acquirable through events. So unfortunately, yes, there is no way to acquire it naturally. You have to participate in events like this, you know, like the login event or something, and usually they'll give you like a photonic disruptor. I can't remember if this one is in, but yeah, one of them had it, but yeah. I'll have to do some infiltration missions later, but yes, it's a bit difficult to acquire it. Because it's something that's only given away during events, I believe. I'm not sure if it's in the store, though. Well, Lawrence Haney, if you haven't seen it, then you can go have a look yourself. Obviously, I cannot discuss the video itself due to the requirements of a clean stream policy. However, several of my viewers have indeed managed to find said video or videos that are like it. And about 16% of people have acknowledged that Gooners are out of control. A couple of people are rather uncomfortable with it, but the majority have not seen the video. No, lycanthropic. I am already inundated with work, and I prefer it that way. In my private time, I prefer not to stream or create content. I like to just do things that make me happy. That's why I work a lot on my music in my private time. That's fair, Track. Had I known you were coming back to gaming, I would have simply told you. I would have simply told you that the event was on where you could acquire it, but, well. That's unfortunately the one thing you will miss out. What music do you make? Agyal, how new are you to my channel? Just curious, because everybody who watches me regularly knows every single thing about my music. So are you a new viewer? Or how new are you to my channel? Just asking so I can gauge what to tell you.
This is divine punishment.
Hey Mike, how's it going?
Face the flames.
A new member has arrived. A new member has arrived.
Ah, thank you, D. Russ. You're very kind. Taking the title early this May, eh?
A new member has arrived.
Thank you, my friend. How are you doing? Mr. D of the Russ. How you doing, Doc?
A new member has arrived.
Thank you.
A new member has arrived.
Fair enough. Alright, well, Agyal, I make AI-generated music. You can find it on major music platforms like Spotify, Deezer, Apple Music, Amazon Music, wherever you want. Look for Real Asian Robot, I'm there. I also have got a separate music channel, and my SoundCloud is and my separate music channel are where you get early releases of all my songs, because on Spotify and the rest, I release on a per album, per EP basis, whereas on my actual channels, I release it pretty fast, and like as and when I create and make music, then I release it straight away. So I hope that answers your question. My music is AI generated, but before anyone says, oh, I don't like AI music, have a listen of my songs first, and then you can decide to tell me whether or not my stuff is soulless AI music, or if it's stuff that'll actually burn your soul. Because quite frankly, if you actually hear my stuff, yeah, it'll burn your soul. But the decision is yours. Do check it out and you can make your judgment. If after you check it out, you make the judgment that you find it completely soulless, then by all means, no need to listen. But I'm very confident in my stuff. You took today off? Nice, D-Russ, please. Enjoy your gaming and your games, or just enjoy the show. And of course, there's more music coming. I'm learning how to work on more genres, more impressive things, so keep looking forward to it and keep enjoying. What's this, Cody Cook? Go check out Reddit for yourself. I cannot discuss it here, obviously, because I've got a clean stream policy that I need to adhere to. So, you might have to go dig around. Good, Princess Star. Hey, Lewis. I'm just chilling, doing my usual. You know how it is.
I have punished the wicked.
Good morning, Lord Rain. Green vouchers. I always like to farm up a bunch of green vouchers. Besides, it's something that I can do with my eyes closed, so... I think I have to tell you, Agyal, that I would never reveal anything that I do. So even if you ask me, I wouldn't tell you a thing. So I apologize for that, but I would never share anything about my creative process. I hope you can understand, because I do publish and intend to make money from this. So much like with any other musicians, I would never, and I do consider myself a musician, I would never give away any information about my creative process. Even my closest people don't know my creative process, and they don't need to know. So forgive me, but I will not say anything about that.
I will cleanse this place.
I do my own sound editing, that I can say, but I will not give any details about the processing or anything like that. So hope you can understand. Gotta protect my intellectual property after all. Sure, Star, you can do that. Same build, Cat. I never change my builds, you know that. Well, you see, Agyal, it's because you make music too that I wouldn't even give anything away, because quite frankly, it'd be like another streamer coming up to me and say, hey, I'm a streamer too. Can you teach me some things? I'll be like, nope. You want to learn from me? You listen, you like the stuff that you see. You pay me for a $5,000 course, I'll teach you. But, you get what I mean? So it's kind of like that, same deal. I just keep it silent.
Death to the blasphemous.
After all, if everybody knew the secrets that I have, everybody could be a robot level musician, and I don't think I want to give that stuff away, considering how good it is. Actually, to be fair, Star, I charge way more than that. The more successful, I charge 5,000 now, but when I become even more successful, trust me, I charge even more. Lol, I'll never make a video on that, Doc. Congrats, Chester. Well done. And Nocula, if you don't know what happened, then better you not know. But if you want to go dive into Reddit, you can. And you can go dig around. And you'll see the hype around the schoolgirl outfits. At this moment, I have no budget for such things, the one.
We can do it.
And much like with my music, I don't exactly want to release slop.
Victory for
So I do not have a desire at this moment to make a music video too. If someday a cheap option arrives where I can generate without it being slop, then I would happily make some videos. But for now, I think it's good enough that you guys just enjoy the music. Of course, Cody, all my builds are the best. Hey, Martin. Good to see you, my friend. How are you doing today? If somebody made it for free, Princess Star, I would say okay, but they have to sign all the rights over to me. As long as they're willing to, you know, sign the rights of their work over to me, meaning no claims, then sure.
I have punished the wicked.
I have nothing that I use for fun, Agyal. Anything that I play is only maximum efficiency. Again, professionalism. So, I've never once played anything for fun. And if I was gonna play anything for fun, I would be on my Primalist right now in Last Epoch. I wouldn't be picking up a random ultimate weapon, I'll tell you that much. I do not have a Viessa build that's been updated. I have my old one, but I don't know if anyone wants to play Viessa. I mean, why would anyone want to? A lot of other characters are faster. Heck, even Ultimate Blair is faster. What gun is this, Lord Christmas? Well, since you're new to my channel, this is the Last Dagger. It's a very common weapon used with my Serena gun build. So if you're new to my channel, Lord Christmas, then welcome to the best and only place for real information. I suggest you check out the videos that I have, because my builds will get you the stuff you need. Do I prioritize upgrading my PC frequently? No comment on that, Lycanthropic. Sorry. You and I are not close enough for me to answer that. Welcome, Lord Christmas. I recognize all my viewers. Ah, there's my mystical dove. How are you? You know, now that Mystic is here, I might have to preview some of the really sad lo-fi I made, you know? But I'll save that for later. You still play Viessa a lot? Good, Baron. Now get out of my chat. We don't want you here. Anyone who plays Viessa gets instant ban from my chat. How dare you even speak to me? Disgusting Viessa player. It's as bad as being a filthy little mudblood, okay? Only pure blood players are allowed to be in my chat. You gotta play good characters, okay? You gotta play real characters like Serena. You see this? You see that this is what we call a pure blood character. Viessa is very strong. Okay. You know, I'll tell you this much. I'll tell you this much. Viessa, I dare any Viessa, okay, to show me that her farming time is better than my Bunny, Keelan, or my Ines. Any of these three. If your Viessa can outfarm mine, I will happily change my stance, just like I did for Blair when somebody proved it. But if nobody can prove it, then I'm gonna call y'all mudbloods, okay? And anyone that even plays Viessa will be instantly obliterated from this game. I will Avada Kedavra your ass so hard. Yeah. Oh, I'm just farming these green vouchers. You kill the Abyss Colossus for them to get the free Colossus skins. I just work my way through them from time to time. Chi Town. You got to be able to beat the fastest farming times, David. That's the only way I consider a character good. Yep. Since you play Viessa, Rubee, I'm ready. I'm ready. I will insta-ban you right now. Come here. Come here and collect your insta-ban. And listen, Mystic doesn't need to ever say hello to me. Why? Because I bully Mystic on a regular basis, like every single day of her life. So, Mystic doesn't need to say hello to me. What's wrong with Viessa? Nothing. It's just that it's a thing on this stream. So, Viessa is one of the slowest farmers in the game. People can play her for, you know, they can play her because they think she's strong or they think she's cool or they think she's cute. But I'll tell you honestly that nobody thus far has been able to prove that their Viessa can equal my Bunny, Ines, or Keelan in farming time. Technically, she still can, the one. But again, it's about farming time. Yeah, see, people don't look at speed. That's what you can't do, though. That's the standard. That's the gold standard for every character. All right, it's about the speed. You know, if she can like a character that does well for farming anyway, has to be able to compete in terms of time. You can't. This is where a lot of people, they don't realize that they're just playing for fun, and there's nothing wrong with playing for fun. But don't forget, when a person asks me something, I have to give a perspective from a professional standpoint, and that professional standpoint is how fast can you clear the content with said character. That's why when people ask me about bossing, it's about how fast can I clear the boss. If people ask me about farming, how fast can I farm something? Exactly, David. That's what I always do. You do realize that that's literally what I always do. I test the character, I measure its speed run time. Unless you're new to the channel, that's literally all I do. I always check the character's timing before I give my judgment. But that's why, the same thing, when a person comes back to me and says, well, I like this character, then I say, again, from a professional standpoint, can you prove to me that the character can do what I do? Do you understand this? You do realize that this is why the channel is considered a professional channel. We are here to give professional opinions, not for fun opinions. For fun, do whatever you want, dude. There's no standard for fun. Play what you have fun with. That's literally the standard for fun. But again, I'm here as a professional, so please understand, you want to hang out here and have discussions with me, then you have to stick to my standard. Otherwise, the discussion is moot, right? Makes sense. Power fair. Power fair. You know, I don't disagree on that, but I gotta see the speed. That's why a lot of people be telling me, like, this is great, but I gotta see the speed. If I were a WWE superstar, bro, I've got a dad bod, man. I ain't no WWE superstar. Pleasure to see you too, Austin. How's it going? No problem, Brandon. You know I'm the best for a good reason. Happy to help. Happy to help. Hey, and I gotta send something to somebody, alright? This is gonna take a moment, but it is important. Now then, Mystic, where are you? Mystic! Mystic! Where's the Mystic? Summon the Mystic now. I need to bully her. The Bionic Smash. Hey, that finishing move sounds cool, though. I kind of dig that, Star. Actually, I have to tell you, David, Haley is not the one-shot queen anymore. In fact, she never was. Serena's the one-shot queen, and Kyle is the one-shot queen. Actually, we already did see a player count increase because of the video floating around High Rise. We saw a slight player increase because of the fact that the videos enticed several one-handed players, let's call them that, one-handed players to return to the game solely to purchase the skins in order to engage in behavior that would be reasonable for that class of human beings. So that's putting it very politely. Technically true, Rubee. I am so short that my finishing move would probably have to be like the he's gonna do like the Chadlet smash or something like that, and just like kneecap the other dude. Well, I try not to say that too much, High Rise, but I think you get what I mean. Hey, Tommy of the Sir. They do indeed, Mr. Brandon, but the problem is, do you really want that to be how your game is judged? Just asking. Gal, I told you before. Next time you ask me anything about another creator or anything like that. Oh, sorry. I misunderstood that. My bad. I think you should use dev instead of creator, because when you use the term creator, it refers to content creators. So don't use the word creator. Anytime you want to ask about that kind of thing, you have to use the word developer. Okay? So when you want to talk about that, do you think that the TFD outfit developers are gooners too? Considering what they have designed, 50-50. I mean, they did design the corn outfit too. Anyway, sorry. I thought you were asking me to talk about other creators, and again, got to be very careful of the lingo because I got to keep it professional. Do you know that Rey Mysterio is actually one of my favorite wrestlers of all time? All right, I actually have a luchador mask. You know, no, I get it. Gal, sorry. Sometimes I read chat fast, so I make a misunderstanding. So this was on my this one was on me. My bad. But yes, please use the correct terminology. It helps a lot. But yes, coming back to that point, Lewis, Rey Mysterio was always my favorite. All right. I loved his theme song. I would play his theme song, you know, and that is exactly why I have my own luchador mask. I haven't worn it in ages because my eyesight is so bad I can't see without my glasses. But back then, when I first started YouTubing, you know, I used to wear this luchador mask for some of my videos, and I even had my own nickname. All right, because this old game that I used to play, right? Back then I was also a lot fitter than I am now. So now I got the dad bod. But back then, they used to call me the Macho Man, obviously a reference to Randy Savage. And then when I would put on the luchador mask, I used to call myself Macho Libre. All right. I even had my own Spanish accent. But you know, those days are behind me. But it's still fun. I still got the mask somewhere. I saw it online and I was like, oh man, I need this mask right now. All right. And thus I was Macho Libre. Obviously a reference to Nacho Libre. I mean, everyone's watched wrestling once in a while, especially when they were young. The Chadlet kneecapper. Yep. That is the best. That is the best move. Hooray in the manlet club. Hey, I can accept that. Dude's still cool though. But I am nowhere near as spry as that guy. And Gabak, by the way, I appreciate your super chat earlier. I don't know if I thanked you, but I just wanted to, like, sometimes I will thank people just a little bit later, but I just want to thank you properly and wholeheartedly, because anyone who donates to support this channel, regardless of amount, just thank you very much for supporting my content.
I have punished the wicked.
See you later, Cody Cook. Anyway, also to answer what Gabak said in his super chat message, I don't intend on leaving this game. I might cut down my hours a little bit, but I don't intend on leaving. Well, CJ Mister, the fact that people love that stuff is a problem. You do realize that we are talking about summer outfits. Summer outfits that are intended for what is effectively minors coming out of school.
This is divine punishment.
Even in Asian cultures, while we admire the hardworking students as a reminder of our youthful days spent with friends, and I did pretty much express this before to people who've asked, the schoolgirl outfits are an expression of our youth, which we remember and we're always nostalgic for. But when those kinds of videos are out, well, they are being farmed for money, and I don't mind that, you know, but I think that there are some lines that cannot be crossed. And Sento Isuzu, like I said, I'm letting the people vote and speak. So far, they don't seem keen for me to wear the outfits either. So, and based on the videos that are coming out, it can be problematic.
I will cleanse this place.
And you see, here's the thing, Brandon, you cannot nerf anyone here. Because the identity that they built for themselves is a casual game. When they nerfed Ines, do you know they got review bombed into oblivion, which is why we've got 3,000 less players than we should have right now? No nerfs. Nerfs should never be in this game. An Ezimo build? Nope. Maybe if I'm paid to do it. But I don't think the people are keen to pay me for an Ezimo video. So, look, I like doing content for you guys, but with all due respect, not a lot of people pay me for the content, so I focus on what I'm paid to do. When I'm paid enough, I'll do anything, but when I'm not, Yeah, nerfs are just no good, because, by the way, the Ines nerf is not that much of a pain. I've proven that she's still strong, but it's the ideology behind it. When you break a promise to your audience, once you break the promise to your audience, you can't come back from that. Actually, Brandon, that is the problem that occurred, but it is also a lack of creativity on their part, because did you know that it's very easy to balance even with broken characters while buffing the other characters to the broken character standard? You might ask me, but wait, Robot, that doesn't make sense. Now, how is it possible? Can you give me an example? Why, yes, I can. Of course, I can very easily give you an example. Give me a moment and I will explain it. That is kind of the problem, Rubee, because they're supposed to be a reminder of youth. However, in their creation, they have seemingly... Do you guys know what compensated dating is in Asia? Yeah. It seems less like they wanted to make schoolgirl outfits and more like they wanted to make the kind of outfits that the compensated dating girls would use. Which I get, it was to sell to gooners, but then how are we any different from the people that promote the idea that schoolgirls should be, you know, seen in that light? Because we can't forget that they are minors. When I see a schoolgirl outfit, I don't think of such things. Essentially, for most games, the idea is to remind people of their youth. It is supposed to be about nostalgia of the time that you spend in your youthful days with your friends, in your school clubs, you know, track and field, you know, maybe like in those sports manga where it's, you know, you're working hard in like Haikyuu and, you know, like the volleyball tournaments and all that. Like that's what it's supposed to be about. But I think it went a little bit in the wrong direction here. No, not at all, Akyal. No, absolutely not. It's not that gaming culture in certain regions just doesn't correlate, because they know this all the same. I consume a lot of Asian media, and I'm talking about, I read a lot of manga, manhwa. There's a very clear difference between celebrating school life and celebrating, you know. Princess Star pretty much hit the nail on the head there. That's exactly what it is. Now, listen, Brandon, here's the thing. Do you want to know how you can balance a game with a broken character? Very simple. Now, I had spoken about this idea before, but why don't they just create a game mode, right? For example, let's say Ines is too strong, right? Okay, create a game mode whereby there's an RK shield around characters, which is already in the game. Now, I'm only going to use game assets when I talk about this, but it's very easy to balance the content. RK shield that cannot be destroyed by RK of that element. Electric RK, Ines is now useless, right? So why don't you create content where there's hordes of enemies, but you're going to need 4 descendants of different types to overcome it. Because if a character comes out with a electric RK shield, that's it. Ines is useless. So Ines might be the so-called mobber, and then you could have like Serena be your boss killer. But what if the boss comes out with a fire arcane shield and the mobs come up with an electric arcane shield? Do you see that? That is one simple way to make co-op a thing. By creating situations where certain characters are invalidated or have to switch their style. So Ines is not a gun descendant, but if you don't build up her gun, you just use her to spam skills, right? You just bring your secret guard along as a stat stick. Then as soon as those kinds of enemies come out, you're sunk. So they could create content that literally activates and deactivates certain descendants at different times during the mission. Plus, you can also create a simple AI director that says, okay, if we got a team of 4 loading in with 4 Inesses, throw them a huge bunch of electric arcane shields, then what are you going to do? You've got 3 weapons, right? One of your weapons better be able to kill them. Or if you just build up Ines, like those people that say, oh, game brain did, all I have to do is press one button. Okay, put those people on the spot. And we'll see how your 4 Ines team does. You get what I mean? There's always ways to counter that. This is just one simple function. You could brainstorm a whole list of functions and generate a game mode with all of these input because, and how do I know this? Because literally other games with smaller dev teams have already done it. So I'm just saying. I mean, I'm not even super saying, but I'm just saying, okay? And Agal, they do, but it depends on the game itself as well. Some games, if they sexualize it a bit more, then I will tell you right now that those games are targeted specifically toward that kind of audience and they have that kind of rating. But this game, as far as I can tell, this game is supposed to have some kind of serious gameplay. So I don't know, if they want to turn this into waifu simulator, then they better hurry up and change direction now. In which case they can tell me and I will pick up a different game instead. Just saying. Oh god, my stupid bottle. Sorry, 1 second. Come on, you piece of crap. Besides, for those that are thirsty enough, there's water. Okay, water's a thing. Water exists. You can always drink water to quench your thirst. And the thing is, Brandon, that right now, you know, funnily enough, as much as the hardcores are feeling like, hey, the game doesn't care about us, did you know that the casuals are feeling the same? As strange as it might sound, the casual players right now, they feel like the game doesn't care for them either because there's so many systems that they have to grind and grind and grind and grind and grind endlessly. And they're feeling like, you know, game doesn't care about them. So I think the devs are caught between a rock and a hard place because the hardcores don't feel like they're taken care of and the casuals don't feel like they're taken care of. Well, Jackrabbit Max, I've said this multiple times, but people still apparently they're under the wrong impression. Okay, fair is fair. I'm a very, like, when it comes to reporting on facts, I'm very, very fair. And I have to say that you've got the completely wrong idea. First of all, we have to use the correct term, dynamic motion. Okay, so we're not going to call it JP. But dynamic motion was not prioritized over additional content. What you got to understand is that the art team and the content teams are completely separate. So they've already said this before, but none of the resources used for dynamic motion were any of the resources that were already being used for content or things like that. And even if they could, they couldn't put those same resources to content because it's under art. It's under the art team, so it's a completely separate department. So I hope you understand about that. Fair is fair. Like, I get what you're saying, but fair is fair. They did not prioritize it over that. It's something that they're doing concurrently and with a completely separate team that has nothing to do with content anyway. I think that sometimes, CJ, mister, we have to look at the moral side of things. Because, sure, they need money to keep the game running, but let me just ask you a question point blank. Let me just ask you a question point blank. Just because somebody needs money, should we allow them to engage in behavior that we think is wrong? By that same token, we could effectively say criminals need money. I think that they should go commit some crimes, you know? Hey, Star, you heard that argument right there? You know, I think that since we need some money right now, hey, yo, you want to start doing some hustling? You know, maybe we go back and start growing things that are illegal. Oh wait, that's against my contract. I can't even reference something like a drug here, can I? Oh, that'd be against my Nexon contract. In fact, the Nexon contract itself says you need to run a clean stream. I have to run a clean stream, and yet they want to make their money through unscrupulous means? I don't think so. There has to be a line, CJ. There has to be a line. That line is the problem. That's completely fine, Agal. Like, I'm not against that. I don't think any one of us is against that, but the problem is we need to see what direction is this game going in. Are we going to just be waifu simulator? Because if so, they can tell me right now, and I can use less brain power on the content. I can just make simple stuff. But if they want to be taken as a serious game, which is how I've tried to promote this game and how I've tried to effectively sell it to my people, that they need to be serious about that. You need to be just as serious about it as I am, you know? It's important. How can you win the trust of your audience if your audience don't trust you? Kakashi, that's because most content creators aren't professional. And what's the moral problem with these skins, Neo Conquer? Have you gone to Reddit lately? You might wanna dip your toes into that, Neo Conquer, and you'll find out very, very quickly. I mean, you know, yeah, anyone that has to ask what's the moral problem with these skins, I worry about you. You might want to check that out. Have I seen Arc Raiders? No, and I do not care, David. Like, not trying to be mean here, but anything that I'm not paid to play, I don't play. So unless they're going to pay me to play it and to give an honest review, then I have no interest. In fact, what I will say is that a company did approach me claiming that they were related to Nexon, and they wanted to pay for some videos and streams, but they never got back to me, which is really strange, in my personal opinion. So since they did not do that, it's, well, they couldn't even meet my rates, and either that or my rates scared them off, but if they cannot even meet my rates, I'm just going to say this straight, that means that they're being very cheap about marketing and promotion. If they want to be cheap about marketing and promotion, then, hey, you know, that just tells me the quality of their game. You stay away from that place? Good for you, but I think if you actually dipped your toes in, you might understand the moral problem. And it's a pretty big one. But yeah, for me, look, if a game, and I don't often charge that much, I gave them a very reasonable rate. Do you know how much Raid Shadow Legends pays me to play their game? And heck, fun fact, their game is actually good. Everybody says it's pay to win, but their game is actually fun to play, and I still play it. Raid Shadow Legends pays me some of the highest in the industry. And I don't even ask that for most devs, but the fact that the Arc Raiders, or the so-called claimed Arc Raiders guy, couldn't even meet my basic rates, I was like, okay. I don't know, that just tells me some very worrying things about the game. Either they're seeking content creators who will work for cheap and therefore give false positive reviews, or they're just not willing to pay more established creators like myself the appropriate fees, which is very worrying. Yeah, unfortunately, the money pop-ups, the paid pop-ups in the game are a bit annoying, but I just close them really quickly and ignore it. Understandable, SirTommy. As long as you just watch me, it's fine. I mean, I still play this game the way it's intended to be played, but thankfully, I've got some other stuff on my plate, too. Well, they do pay me a lot, Star, when they do pay, so fair is fair. But I think you understand my concern, right, SirTommy? You understand exactly what I was talking about. When I saw that this morning, I was like, is this really the direction we want this to go in? Go to the first Descendant Reddit, Kakashi. I think you will see through the dragon's eyes. SirTommy, why don't you pass me the link to what you saw, and I'll pass the link to Kakashi right now. Why don't we show him, you know? As long as I'm not the one searching and discussing it, I think it shouldn't be a violation of my contract. Would you kindly just do that for me real quick, SirTommy? Thank you, if you wouldn't mind. I actually think so to an extent, Agyal, because quite frankly, it is the one-handed players that have kept this game running. What's going on, Base Vegeta? The less you know, the better. If you don't know about it, close your ears and close your eyes. Not really, Jackrabbit, no, because the art team has to work on art stuff 24/7 anyway. So at most, the resources would be pulled from skins instead. So that's not how it works. Because the art team would be, just post it, DM it to me on Discord. I'll handle it. No problem. See you later, Agyal. Well, that's fine to be, David, but I would really recommend in a public space you want to keep your perversions to yourself. Just saying. If you're proud of being a one-handed player, then this is also not the place for you to hang out. Because quite frankly, nowadays that we get more ladies around here and more clean folks, I think it's better that you don't admit to just being a one-handed player. Unfortunately, you know, it is the current terminology used here. We call them one-handed because obviously you get why they're one-handed, right? So yes, it is a safe term. We do indeed. Ah, yes, thank you. That was the exact post, SirTommy. I will share the link in chat momentarily. Well, you did declare yourself to be a one-handed player and you're not ashamed of it, so you can't really go back on your words once you've said it, Mr. David. That's how that works, which is why I would say be very careful of what you identify with. You can't take it back once you say it. Hmm? Okay, see it. So for those that want to see it, yeah. Yes, I can, David, but I'm not here to debate the morals of it. I'm just saying, if you say that I'm a one-handed player and I'm not ashamed of it, that's how everyone's going to judge you. It doesn't matter what else you say after that. You get what I mean? So please be very careful. The link is right there, Kakashi. You can go have that. And if you don't see anything wrong with that, then you have to question yourself. Hello, Jamel. Debating current issues. You know how it is. So just remember, sometimes the first impression that you give to somebody is all you get. You could say judging is for God, but David, you do realize that, number one, this is my stream in my space, and here you have to just abide by the rules. So if you push it and say judging is for God, then here I am God. Well, you see, that's why you should care about the details, Kakashi. So anyone that goes against my standards, David, and I'm just saying this nicely, if you don't want to get kicked out, follow my standards. Can't follow my standards, then you leave. Plain and simple. There's a door, and you shall be removed. All right? So same goes for anybody. In my space, judging is for God? Sure. In my space, I am God. Here, I am the God Emperor of mankind. So fit my standards, or be shown the door. Listen, Leaf, I'm not afraid of that, and I don't care about that, but that game is catered specifically to that crowd. Whereas this one is trying to at least have some gameplay, so I don't know. If that's what they want, Leaf, then that's fine. But you do realize that there is a problem.
Face the flame. I have punished the wicked.
Yeah, pretty much, Jackrabbit. That's correct. They do. They do. I don't disagree with that, Goku. They do. You're not wrong. But we also have to question exactly how we're farming to them and what kind of standards that sets, because if they're the only ones that are left, yeah. Hello, Robert. How'd you lose your hand? Well, you see, that is what we call a claim, Brandon. But that is all a claim is. That is all a claim is, a claim. Because you ask me or you ask anybody in my chat, how many times have we debated great suggestions about, you know, being able to create content around broken Descendants. Very easy to do so. All you have to do is think outside of the box. It's not that hard. Ruby's right. But, of course, their sales money, once it's in the game's pocket, doesn't really matter if they go away. So I'm okay with that. But the problem is how often they will keep returning. And what do we have to do to keep them coming back? Because once you give people a taste of one thing, they're going to need more. All right? Same rules as would, you know, apply to an addict. Same rules as would apply to an addict. They build a tolerance to it. It's the same thing with the skins. People build a tolerance to it. They've already gone all the way with the hot spring skins. So at everything after that, it's just like, it's okay. I mean, this time around, not that many of the so-called one-handed crowd came back this time. You know? Okay, David, if all you're gonna do is be disruptive or have a go at other people, you will be removed. And again, you haven't exactly given me a great impression here. I left you alone because, you know, I think everybody deserves a chance, but it doesn't seem like you're here to have a great time with us. It seems like you're here to just, you know, debate things and try to disrupt our vibes. So I'm just going to kick you out. You can come back when you're ready to be respectable. All right, same thing, same rule across the board. All right, I let everybody have their say here, but again, you don't just respect me, you got to respect the people in my chat as well. If you can't sit at the same table and say, you know, look, if you had given your statement in a professional way, I would have left it alone. Maybe other people wouldn't have felt bad too. But that's why it's very important to learn how to speak properly. All right? So, let's not do that. You hope Season 3 will bring a big change? I'll think about it, because we still got 50 days of Season 2. Episode 2. We'll see. I will try and maintain some hope. You have my word on that. I don't like to abandon my crowd and my crew, but... That is also another thing, Rubee. Technically speaking, as much as I hate saying it, if you're gonna blow $100 on a digital thing, you could get the real deal. I'm just saying. Now, of course, there are other risks that comes with that, but, you know. But either way, just so you know, Rubee, I have to remove that message because it does kind of contain references to OnlyFans, and again, clean stream, so we can't go that far. Sorry, Rubee, I'm gonna have to cut that message there. I understand what you're saying, but just remember, we have a clean stream policy, and we got to stick strictly with that, because no matter what, you know. Well, Albert, I'm glad to hear that, but unfortunately, most people do not get that itch anymore. And that's why we have a falling player base. I'm glad you're still experiencing the itch, but less and less people seem to be experiencing that.
Impudent bastards. as quiet as a monster.
That is because you are weak, Star. Pretty much, your chief. Basically, like, it felt like as soon as Season 2, Episode 2 came out, everybody was talking about Season 3 already, and they were showcasing, oh, this is what we're going to do in Season 3. So where's the love for Season 2, Episode 2? We still got... You can just check the Battle Pass right now. We still have 47 days left. That's a whole month and a half. So, you know. Actually, there's a lot to grind for, Star. It's just that you are extremely weak. And you had several months of bitter weakness as well. So, I'm just saying. You know, I'm just saying. Yeah, these days I mostly just log on for, like, the evening stream, and that's about it. Yeah, fair enough, fair enough.
Do not fall.
Well, David, I am very glad that you want to propose something, but this is the wrong place to propose anything. Take that to the official Discord and give them the suggestions there. I'm just a content creator. Well, Kakashi, it is what it is. I feel that they should stop focusing on Descendant stories because they're a waste of time. I genuinely don't care about the Descendants enough, and if they want to release lore, they can just release cinematics. What they should be focusing on is the actual storyline, of which we've only advanced one little bit. We found Aya. Like, that's all the advancement to the storyline we've had. Like, that's wrong. They need to heavy focus on the storyline constantly. See, that's where I think they're going wrong. It feels like this whole season is just filler.
I have punished the wicked.
Yeah, lately it's been pretty good, SirTommy. I would love to see more of that for the evening stream, but surprisingly, a lot of y'all don't ever turn up for my streams when I'm streaming other stuff. So if more of you guys turn up for when I'm streaming other stuff, then maybe I can shift the evening streams to something else as well. Give it a try. There's a lot of good things coming. See, Brandon, that's kind of thing. Everybody says the same thing. Why don't they just take robot ideas? Because you know what, they're freaking free. You know, and if they want more details, they can always set up a consultation. My rates aren't that expensive.
Do not fall. Reloading. I have punished the wicked.
Oh, good. I figured you would, Austin, and that's nothing wrong with that. Well, Jeremy, I like to pronounce Jeremy incorrectly, but Jeremy did pretty alright. Okay, Neo Conquer, I give you a thumb, but I'm just gonna say it straight to your face. If somebody is going for fan service, then I really don't want to interact with them. So thank you very much, but I'm just gonna, like, even if you're making a valid point, I just don't want to interact with you because that's not the sort of man that I want to know. With all due respect, sir. So I would suggest you probably should find a community that is more aligned with that. Because, yeah, considering especially now that I've got ladies to look out for, yeah, I really don't want to talk to somebody that's more into fan service. Just personal interest. Yeah, fair enough, George. Nothing wrong with that. These updates are filler anyway. I'm here because I want to maintain my profit margins, that's all. And TFD still gives me my highest viewership, but I am trying to branch out a bit more. I've already got some upcoming paid sponsorships with other games as well, so there's that. Hey, Lawbreaker, how's it going? But I've met a lot of good people on TFD, so I don't want to completely drop the game for them, you know? I feel that they deserve my presence here, as much as possible, at least. Hey, I'm going well, Lawbreaker. I really can't complain. But, our game slowly seems to be slipping away from us, you know? Especially with the recent focus on, you know? Fan service means, yeah, basically content that is all about TNA, Ruby. Yeah, I'm surprised you've never heard the term fan service before because you're as much of a nerd as I am, so you should know what fan service means, right? If you genuinely don't know, then, well, you can Google it, and it will tell you. That's fine, Neoconquer. Like I said, I appreciate you being very mature about it. Like I said, I just want to be very upfront and honest. Like, if a person is into that, then they're really not a good fit for the community. Because, again, I do have more people to look out for. So thank you very much for being mature about it. Well, I think that Kakashi, even if you asked that question, they probably wouldn't answer because I think you've noticed that I'm a very truthful and very principled man. It's why some folks like Rubee watch me. It's because I'm very focused on those moral and principled things. So I think it's hard for them to take direction or even listen to what we as a community are saying because I think you'll notice our community is pretty balanced and we understand different perspectives, but we tend to be very stable and we're quite a moral community. You know, we won't just, you know, support something for the sake of supporting it. So I think that's why. And Pomper, lag. I think that the Void Erosion Purge is meant for players that have a high skill level. And the only thing that I'll say is that anybody that has trouble with it, well, unfortunately, that is a sign that either skill is lacking or builds are lacking. For me, I don't play the challenge mode because I don't care. It's only for those that want to sweat about this game, and in which case, they will spend endless hours, cores, and resources getting the perfect god rolls, making multiple copies of weapons to pass every single level perfectly. And the more that I look at it, the more that I say, I really don't want to do that. I can clear VEP 30 and that's enough for me. So do I think they went too far with the difficulty? I say no. Give the hardcores and the sweats something to work toward, and then they can leave the rest of us alone. I'm just here to make content that's good enough for the player base to do everything they need. You know, get the basics done, get some end-game builds going, have some fun in all the modes. But challenge, I think I'll leave that to the people that want to sweat. George, I would prefer not to discuss them until they're completely finalized, but most of the stuff that I do post about is in Discord. So you might have to get a bit more involved with Discord, you know, as and when I post. And I know there's a lot to read sometimes, but, well, that's what family means. You gotta show love to the family and be consistently involved. So, unfortunately, I will not speak about them here, because this is a public space, not a private space like our Discord. And look, I'm glad that this is your favorite game, Anthony. I like that. I'm glad that this is many people's favorite game, but the problem is, even though it's some people's favorite game, it's not exactly doing well. I don't need to send help. I'm glad you're addicted. Have fun. But, well, again, like I said, I'm going to take a look at profits. As long as my profits remain high, I'm not going to worry. If my profits start dipping, or if I don't see enough people, you know, supporting me, then... And it can't just be the same people, because my same people support me no matter which game I play. So I want to see some more support from the community. You might think that I'm saying, oh, this streamer, he just wants more money. But yeah, that's exactly the answer. Because if I don't see new people starting to super chat and donate, How am I going to stay here? There'll be no money for me here. That means I can't feed my family. Then what am I going to do with a constantly falling player base? So I'm not going to kill my own career. You get what I mean? Even if I have to take a few weeks of pain, that's a better solution than suffering endlessly, you know, here on a dead horse. Get what I mean? So I do hope that more people start to contribute to the channel. If they do, then yeah. If you didn't see it, Mojo, then you can search Reddit. I cannot comment about it here due to clean stream policy. Hope you can understand. And Jackrabbit, I think anything will be a hit, but if it's just more of the same, it's going to be a problem. Look, right now we kill Colossi in 1 second. So what if it's an open world Colossus? Is it going to be any different than what we've already seen in the Void? Because if so, then why wouldn't I just take Serena there and completely finish it in literally 1 second? You get what I mean? So it's not about hit or miss. It's that they're making the same types of content and not offering new excitement.
Purification complete.
Sure, Porks, if you feel that way, then okay, there you go. Oh, good, Mojo, no problem. I just have to keep my stream clean, so I'm just not gonna talk about it openly here. Well, either way, George, I would never speak about it in a public space. You know that as well as I do. Anything that you guys need to know, because after all, you guys are family, I will strictly talk about it only in our private space. Because, look, no professional creator just openly talks about a sponsorship unless it's already paid for, and unless, like, for example, like Raid, once it's confirmed, once it's paid for, I'll be like, hey, I'm going to be playing this, I'm going to be playing that. But otherwise, you're usually under NDA, non-disclosure agreement, for those that do not know the legal terminology. So since I'm usually under NDA, George, I would never mention anything in a public space. And even in a private space, I keep the details within, because don't forget, Discord, I still may be under NDA to not share it with anybody. So I have to keep it very stable and very quiet. A lot of games are like this because they may tell me things in confidence. They may give me information that is extremely crucial to the operations that they may not want their competitors to know about. So that's why when we talk about sponsorships, I rarely ever say anything unless it's confirmed and unless I am within the bounds of the contract. Like I said, Brandon, it's hard to preach when, you know, the, yeah, not long, Jamel.
Purification complete.
But it depends on what you mean by max. All right, see you later, George. Sorry, I'm just answering a few questions from my own Discord peeps. Any game will grow if there are content creators like me for strict principles and directions. Man from Morocco, the build is already on my channel. Have you not seen it before? It's the same Serena gun build for bossing. It's literally, I literally made the video a few weeks ago. I haven't changed it. Same build. Anytime you need my builds, you don't need to ask me to show it on stream. Okay? Only the worst streamers in the world will show their builds on stream because you are not going to get the explanation for the build. That's why I send people to my videos. Because the video contains the full explanation. If I have to spend time, just saying, 20 minutes every stream to go through my build over and over again, I'd be a very bad content creator. So please do, if you need my builds, just reference the videos. The video is already on my channel. All right? So man from Morocco, I think you're new to my channel, so you may not know this, but we're professionals here. And since I'm a professional, you can get everything you need just from my videos. Please enjoy. You're welcome. Full bars? It didn't take me long at all to max out the modules because there's a video that I have on farming Kyber. There's a video that I have on farming gold. You can do both once you have Ultimate Bunny and you've built her up. So the first time might be a little bit rough, but you'll get there.
It is time for your judgment.
Anyway, let me just tell you this, Kakashi. An old game that I played understood my value as a content creator, and I'm currently in negotiations for a paid sponsorship from them. You might actually see me play more of that game if it goes through. Currently, I'm just talking and negotiating with them. But who knows? Like I said, sometimes a lot of games, they only value me once I have stopped playing. And I have literally stopped playing that game for almost a year. However, they seem to have understood my value and, well, yeah.
Impudent bastard.
Of course, all my builds are on my channel, Mojo. Like, my Serena build came out almost as soon as she was released. Why would I not give you my build, Mojo? Come on.
I have punished
You've been watching my channel for a while. You should know by now. And I'm very disappointed if you don't know this by now since you've been watching my channel for a while. But you should already know that once a build is tested, I give it to people freely. What am I farming for today? I'm literally just chilling. And just getting my green vouchers while talking to chat. Today, honestly, I'm mostly just talking with chat. I don't really care too much. Oh, I never went live on TikTok. Whoops. Guess I'll go live on TikTok now. But I'm mostly just talking to chat. That's all I'm really doing.
I will cleanse this place.
I did a long time ago, and I've heard they've come back, but I don't know about their player numbers. If the game starts like super popping off, then I might consider it, but I'm not so sure. I wonder if it's on Steam right now. Or does it have its own launcher? I need to be able to see player count to really understand whether or not I want to play it.
We can do it. Ask one.
They brought it back recently, Leaf. But Mystic Dove would be the one to answer about that. Because she's the only one, I believe, who's tried it so far. Although I don't know if she went to bed right now. Snapshot. All of that is literally in my Ultimate F2P Survival Guide. It's the first video that everybody needs to watch backwards and forwards. So... I mean, I don't think you're a new player, but... everybody and their grandmother has to watch that video from me. Anyone that failed to watch that video... well, they're not a gamer.
A victory
No, I'm not. Because single-player games don't attract good enough viewership, at least for channels like mine. My channel was not established on single-player game playthroughs. And I don't think I have much of an audience for that. I've tried multiple times, but the viewership is always poor because most people, they'll watch for 15 minutes, you know, and then after watching for 15 minutes, they'll go buy the game themselves and experience it for themselves. So they don't really care about content creators. They don't care about seeing the whole playthrough. So that's where I'm most disappointed in single-player games. And besides, once you're done with them, what are you supposed to do? Like, for me, my channel is all content-based, so yeah. Nah, if I've got time in private, I'd rather focus on practicing multiplayer games and getting better. I mean, I literally make a living off player games. Off playing games, so I have to be good, right? But hey, if you ever pay me to play it in private, sure. Why wouldn't I do that? If you're new, then as much as it's gonna suck, right? What I'll tell you, Snapshot, is you will want to actually go through my entire playlist and watch every single video. I think we're well past 300 right now. Might seem like I'm making a ridiculous statement, but there's a lot to learn if you really want to know. If you really want to know. But at least the Ultimate FTP Survival Guide's the basic Bible for every new player. Then following on from that, you might want to check my reactor guide just so you know what you're getting into. And then after that, the build videos and several of the other knowledge videos if you want to. That could probably help you. But yeah, there's a whole playlist to dig through and you know, there's a lot in there. So, yeah. Suburb Hermit. Yeah, listen, I'll tell you this right now that you are going to care if you saw it. But look, if you want to remain unaware, that's completely fine as well. Let's just say that those that live in blissful unawareness, hey, I don't blame you for it, but just don't be surprised when certain things happen that you may not like. That's all I'll say.
Purification.
No, I didn't. I was approached about it, but I told them my rates for videos, and I didn't even charge them all that much, but they never came back to me, so... So I guess they were afraid of paying me my rate, or maybe my rate didn't suit them. But if they're hiring people that are paid less or focusing only on people that are paid more, then that doesn't strike me as very good. So I will say that much. Thought you had to go, George. You back? Or you're just watching me in secret? I mean, I don't mind, but yo, didn't you say you had to go earlier? Where am I based? Singapore. And Kansas, most people just combine modules until you get it. That's usually how you get it. No audio on TikTok. Weird. Okay. Thanks for letting me know. Okay, 1 second. Somebody says I've got no audio on TikTok. Okay. Okay, that should be fixed now. Yep, there you go. Thanks, fam. But yeah, thanks for letting me know. It's fixed now. Sorry that happened. I've got no idea. TikTok streaming software is different from OBS, so it has problems. Defiance was a thing a while back. It was pretty alright.
Ask Corey is a monster.
So now we know, Star, George is a secret stalker. Fair enough. Stalker boy. Secretly stalking me.
Into the light. Purification.
Sorry, did somebody just ask still play Warzone? I'm confused. What are you talking about? I've never played Warzone in my life. You sure you got the right streamer, or are you asking the wrong streamer? Are you watching two different streamers at once? Because, what? And May 22? I mean, I don't really care when they come out. Either way, it's just a recycled, Dead Bride, so... At most, we'll probably have to use, like, Ultimate Blair for it or something.
Ask one as a monster.
Lol, Star. You trying to spread misinformation, alright? You do that, and I will beat you, okay? I'll never lay my hands on Mystic Dove or anyone else. Snapshot, that's not me. I've never once made a Warzone gun build in my life. I've never played. I'm not a COD player, so you are clearly remembering me wrong. I mean, I'm glad you found my channel, but what the hell, bro? Sounds like you got me mixed up with another streamer, because all of my videos would have had my face on it, and me and COD have never had anything. So
Purification.
what the hell, bro? Who in the hell were you watching? Forgive me for being rude, but who in the hell were you watching? Do I look like a COD player to you? Kansas, I have a Discord, but it's only for my top tier supporters. So unless you are the highest ranking channel member, or unless you've donated a lot, you're not getting in my Discord. Why do we do this? Because our Discord is family. We share a lot of stuff in there. We share a lot of stuff in there that is extremely important. You know? So we take care of each other like genuine family, and that's why nobody gets in unless you prove that you're ride or die for us. Yeah, COD me doesn't exist. I don't play COD, buddy. Never made a gun build for COD, and never will.
Ask one as a monster.
And I'm actually kind of offended that this snapshot guy confused me with a COD player. Do I really look like that much of a total loser? Damn. Like, yo. All right, you go ahead and you go find the COD videos, but I guarantee they're not me. Like I said, never touched it.
Do not fall. Purification.
The fact that you did Star makes you like 300% a loser now, so I have to beat you up even more. So prepare for trouble, Star. Anyway, just don't name any creators, yeah? I know Rena's just joking, but the rest of you, if he's got me confused with another creator, just don't name them.
Into the light.
Lol, George with the and make it double.
Purification.
Do that and I'll sue you straight away, Neo Conquer. I will thank you for the free payday. Hello, Hassan. See you later, Brandon. LOL, base Vegeta. And also, hello, Brandon McDory. Welcome. Yeah, no, I'm still wondering, you know. I'm still wondering, Star. Why BVS? Oh, so he doesn't want to play with us, but he wants to play with you. Okay, cool. You see, you tell him later, Princess Star. I want to know where his freaking loyalties lie. All right. He don't game with us no more. Man from Morocco, I do not discuss things like that. I hope you understand. Don't worry, I will take away BVS's blue wrench. I will personally take away his... No, I don't care that you forced him to play with you, Star. Alright? His blue wrench is getting confiscated. I will never guess that, Kakashi. But if it's more than 10, I'll ban you from my channel, so tell me. I know, right, Ren? I just can't say no to Star, you know? He sees Star and he's like, okay, I am weakness. I go and play. I go and play Monster Hunter. No, don't feel bad, Star. You just tell him. You just tell him that next time he's coming in here, all right? I'm gonna remove his blue wrench, all right? And I'm gonna remind him that he has forsaken his Lord and Savior, and I'll remember this grave injustice forever. Nice, Jamel. LOL. Oh my god. I use both, but there's one that's efficient, one that's efficient, one that's not. Well, thank you, Snapshot, and that's okay. You don't have to tell me who. I have no interest in knowing. Just know that Real Asian Robot is his own man, and he's a separate man, okay? Alright, you watch me for TFD. Whoever you used to watch for Warzone, I can't help you with that, alright? If it's another Asian dude, that's fine, man. Just remember, okay? Don't be racist and make sure you know that all Asian people don't look alike, okay? Okay, Snapshot? We Asian people are all separate, okay? And I am TFD Asian Robot. I don't play Warzone or COD related games. Not that I don't play PvP games. I mean, I do play Marvel Rivals and people know my skills in that game, but yo, okay, we all separate. Catch you later, Brandon. And thanks for becoming a cool bot. You've taken our first step into the nation. Oh, man. But anyway, glad you found the guy. Glad you found the guy, Snapshot. Nothing wrong with your memories being bad. Most people don't have a memory like me. Like I said, I remember everything. I don't even want to, but I do. Anyway, I think Mystic Dove fell asleep.
A victory for humanity.
I'm gonna have to bully her about this later. I'm a relaxed kind of guy, you know. Most of the time. Hey, no problem, Jamel. You know, people always fear my straightforward, point-blank attitude, but I just joke and relax with everybody. So long as people remain respectful, you know, we can all just chill at a lunch table and joke, you know. Healthy interaction is what I'm all about. It's when the interaction gets unhealthy that I'm like, okay, maybe we need to take a step back here. You know?
It is time for your judgment. We will not fail.
Yeah, I know it's not me because, like I said, I remember everything. Even if I was sleepwalking and playing Warzone in my sleep, I probably would have remembered. But in all fairness, you know, maybe Star is just trying to keep BVS alive, you know? Well, Rena, I'm counting on you to stay at next time that he's here. You know, you gotta bully him. When we see BVS, it's on sight, okay? It's on sight. You see BVS, then it's gonna be a fight.
Death to the corrupt.
Mask off. No, Star. It's family matters. I tell you. Alright, if I see BVS, okay, it's family matters. Alright. Drop a 50 bag on the mob for a spot. Oh, I was really trying to keep it PG. I was really trying to keep it PG. Oh god, oh god. The parodies are terrible. The parodies are terrible.
Death to the blasphemous. I have punished the wicked.
Well, Star, I guess Rena's odd because you just can't even. Sure, go ahead, Snapshot. It's still a pretty decent build. I don't know, George. Can we consider him a battle brother? Since he only wants to play with a sister of battle, not even gaming with his battle brothers.
I have punished the wicked.
Swear. I'm just gonna remember all of you guys, alright? All your grave injustice right here. I will forever remember that you thought some other Asian guy was me. And I will not forgive you. I will not forgive you. Or are you unforgiven too? Yeah, don't get too used to it. I'm still beat you up. You see, I will never lay hands on Rubee, Mystic, Fernzilla, Kaz, any of these ladies. But Star, always on sight. But only because I know she won't hit me back. So I can bully her. So I can bully her relentlessly. I'm a lady's hands, you know. I'm a lady's hands on you. And it won't even be to heal you. No, 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 no. I ain't no lawful good paladin, okay? When I lay hands on somebody, that's it. Doesn't matter if you're Asian yourself, free liquidity. Alright? I'm glad you can tell the difference, but just remember, if you do not worship me, I will immediately ban you for life. Okay? Be very careful. I'm a dangerous and whimsical god. And if I see any reason to do so, or maybe just because the weather is nice, I'll ban all of you. Just because I can.
This is divine punishment.
It's okay, Snapshot. I understand. It's alright. I'm glad you're cracking up. It's okay. It's okay that you revealed your casual racism to me in thinking that I'm the same as some random Korean dude. It's okay. It's cool. It's fine. I'm not gonna be mad. I'm not gonna judge you. Okay, I'm just gonna quietly keep it to myself. That is true, Star, but I will just punch you in other places that are not pleasant. I refuse to let my height difference be a problem. I'ma go straight for them joints. I will activate some cheaper town halls and just go full Wing Chun Jeet Kune Do on your joints. I mean, it's all I can reach, but you get what I mean. You will just feel my iron fist to Doom's iron face.
Welcome to the modules lab.
Lol, Kakashi. But anyway, ever since that, see you later, Snapshot. And by the way, if that is an actual channel, please take note. I have to remove that message. And Baron, if you seriously mentioned that guy by name, take note. Even as a joke, you should know that we can't do that. Hey, guys, I don't want to have to throw people out, but y'all know the professional rules, right? Doesn't matter what content they create, what content they do. Please don't name somebody by name. I know you're joking, but hey, I have a professional responsibility here, okay? Next time somebody names a name, even as a joke, I will throw you out. And you guys know this. I don't want to do that. But come on, guys. You know the professional standards. Doesn't matter. Doesn't matter what the situation is. Well, that's good, Rengo. I'm glad that you are, but make sure you register me as a creator first. It's a rule that everybody should know if you're watching me. Here, we're professional. Don't, and I've already deleted it, but don't ever let it happen again. Never name somebody by name. Positive or negative, it can invite drama to the channel. So the second you name somebody by name, don't forget, I don't want to have to give this warning again. I will ban you for life, and then you just can't watch me. So let's not do that again. Baron especially, you should already know that. So if that was the person's name, don't ever say that. I know you're joking. I know you're just trying to give a compliment. Don't do that. It's not worth it, okay? Like I said, we keep professional standards here. Anyone who cannot meet our same professional standards, you are sitting here in my chat, you know, streamer name, real name, doesn't matter. If it is a reference to another person, don't mention it. There's no need to do so. But it is much worse if that person posts YouTube videos or makes any kind of content in any way, shape, or form. Doesn't matter, don't mention them. All right, very rarely will I mention anybody by name. And even then, it is very, very within context. We just don't do that here because we are drama free. And the very second we mention anybody by name, that invites drama. And I will say it again, all right? If I have to give a second warning to a person, that is a ban for life. I don't care if you've contributed to the channel. I don't care if you're a member. I don't care what you've done. All right? Anytime it has to be a second or third warning, it will automatically be a ban. I know, Rengo, but you have to renew your registration. You can't just register once. You have to register every single month, just so you know. So please do re-register me as a creator if you haven't already. So thank you for that. All right, but anyway, guys, I'll say it again. Please, please understand the rules here and be reasonable. I'm not saying this for fun or to be unreasonable with you guys. I promise you I'm not, and I never would. But you gotta understand, there are rules here that must be followed no matter what. And that one rule that we always follow is do not ever name anybody. See you later, Snapshot. Just don't do it. We do it, we're just inviting things to happen. And you may say, oh, one time is not so bad. But if I let it happen once, then other people will do it again and again and again. It just goes on and on and on. If you have to be told more than, if you have to be told 3 times, you're pretty much doing it on purpose. In which case, there's no excuse that I have a bad memory, I forgot, or things like that. I won't even accept that as an excuse. Do it a 3rd time, I'll just throw you out completely. And it'll just be a ban for life. And I hope never to have to do that. I wouldn't. I don't want to. But yeah. Only for all the ladies so far, free liquidity. I'm slowly working my way through it, but there's a lot of the guys that don't have it yet. I mean, it's not that hard to earn the vouchers, but I am gonna go do some infiltration operations. I just do that as much as I can stand it, and then I stop. Cause just genuinely speaking, it is so not worth it, like going through it again and again and again. The more I look at it, the more I'm like, ooh, this is terrible. Yeah, no problem. I mean, if you just want the backpack, go for it. It's not like it's bad or anything. Appreciate it, but I'm just doing my job, Suburb. Like I said, I genuinely don't expect thanks because I just do this for profit. It's a job. I work a job like anybody else. Sounds like something in your account may not be linked correctly. You better go to your Nexon account and check that you've got the correct email and all that. That would be pretty important, my friend. All the backpacks get mad that we carry them. It's part of the fun. Like I said, you might want to check that all your emails are registered correctly, because as far as I know, there are no problems with that. One thing that I can say is that their system for registering content creators works perfectly, Kakashi, so usually the problem is on the user end. It could mean that you have registered the incorrect email. Your Nexon account may have some information that is not updated or incorrect, so just be careful of that. Alright, just make sure, at least double check, that it's all good. Okay? Just to be sure. Yeah. That's, like I said, the problem is 95% on the user end. ETA shop. Very, very rarely. At most, once a month. Yeah, you generally want to renew every month. Actually, the duration is a month and a half, but a lot of people forget because it's such an odd timing. So I usually just tell people roughly every month, just remember. Yes, indeed, Finesse. That is her lore. Nah, it's not yearly. You gotta always renew your registration. Am I using MP collector? Yes. I always do. I like to keep my MP up. But in actuality, I should be using certain things. I completely forgot about the inversion reinforcer. To be frank, and I don't mean castle. I'm already trying 2 plague set. Thinking if I should use Slayer set to go faster. I could. I'm kind of being lazy right now, but if I use my Slayer set, I could go faster. But anyway, I just want to farm some of these because I want the vouchers. So could just go in and go slap, slap, slap. But yeah, for anyone else, before buying anything, please register me as your creator. It's free and it takes less than a second. If you registered me more than a month ago, please make sure to renew it. Alright, see you later, George. But don't worry, I know you're still gonna stalk me in the background. Keep stalking me, okay? Have fun. Yep, so that's why you gotta renew it. That's why nowadays I remind people, always renew it where you can. Thank you for the super chat. Appreciate that. Doc. I'm glad you're having fun with the Blair build. Thank you, thank you. One of the first times I've seen you super chat. Good. Okay, free liquidity. That is a lie. It does not happen all the time. Okay, it's only because, unfortunately, stupid people do not know how to read. Okay? I'll help you in a second. Let me finish up here and I'll post you a link. That'll help you out. Okay? You should always link your Nexon account, and the only people that lost progress were what I would call people that don't ever understand how to read. If they learn how to read, there is no problem. And also, they never speak to content creators. Instead, they think they're very smart. They suffer from what we call I'm so good syndrome. Never suffer from that syndrome. Always ask a professional creator if you do not know what to do. If a professional creator does not have the answer for you, they will direct you to the support, which will have an answer for you. It's all good, Baron. I understand. Just letting you know that we just can't do that here. I mean, I rarely, if ever, make reference to one of the most famous creators ever, you know. He's a Nurgle worshiper, but yes, you just can't do that because, unfortunately, there's people out there who will try and paint things in a bad light no matter what you try and do. So, unfortunately, to protect the robot nation and to protect our people and community, I'm always very careful. So that's why, even if it's just a simple name, I don't tolerate it. It's very, very... You have to be careful here. Because the second we do that, famous or not, doesn't matter. You know? Because it could lead to people saying, why are you talking about this person? Oh, he's famous, so you want to name him in your stream for clout? There's all sorts of accusations that can get thrown around. So, for this particular industry, I always take the safe road no matter what. Okay, so let me just send you the link really quickly. I believe this should be the link to it, to the article. Let me just double check that for you, but Nightbot should put up a link. There you go. Okay, so there is a specific guide on the TFD website that explains the whole process, free liquidity. So as long as you read that whole thing, you will never go wrong. You will never go wrong and you will never lose progress. It's literally impossible to lose progress as long as you follow that. How do you increase your weapon's DPS points by 2 million? You don't ever look at DPS. You just follow the builds that I post because they are ideally the best that you can get. If you want to increase your weapon DPS, well, this is the wrong channel to ask. I never look at DPS. You don't get free anything when you link it. It's to support a creator that you like. You're welcome, Raven. Happy Friday indeed. You know what? I'm tempted. I'm tempted. I am tempted. Tempted I am. Not horrendous. Not horrendous at all. So what if... Acceptable. Acceptable. Actually, free liquidity, that's what I've been saying. Like, supporters should get something too, but I don't know. I guess the priority for these guys is dynamic motion. Well, Kakashi, it's not that it's not useful info in any way, shape, or form. It's just that people who rely on it, they always make very, very bad judgments. Let me explain to you in very simple terms. Okay, check this out. If I were to put this... Do you see that my DPS just went up there? But is my gun doing more damage? All this does is increase the number of rounds in my magazine. It doesn't actually make my gun do more damage, but the DPS just went up. Do you see what I mean? DPS is just a measure. It is a guideline, but you cannot rely on it. So a person could tell you, hey man, my DPS is over 2 million. You know, oh my god, I'm so good. But did you know, for example, fire enhancement literally is adding additional damage onto your weapon. Let's put it on the weapon and see what happens. No change to DPS. This is what we call the DPS trap. Only the dumbest of people will rely on DPS without understanding the DPS trap. I explained this DPS trap way back in Season 0. Never be trapped by DPS. DPS is just a guideline for you. You understand? So I use DPS just to guide me on certain modules, whether I'm going in the right direction, but ultimately I do the calculations myself. And if you want to see real results, the best way to test is how fast are you clearing content, and you can see the damage in the lab as well. So that is how you really learn, because the laboratory has an actual DPS calculator. So you can use that for true understanding. But that's why the actual damage is much more important than the DPS guideline. The tooltips tend to be a bit broken, so I don't rely on them. Yeah. So I hope that explains it. This is why, you know, when people come around asking me that question, I know that they're not following me as a creator. They're following somebody else. If they want to follow me, like I said, only the smart ones understand the DPS trap, which I taught back in Season 0. And if they don't understand it, they must learn. See, this is why in my videos you don't see me talk about DPS. Some people want to shoot, Sully. That's how it is. And don't worry about it, George. I mean, stay, go. It's all good, you know? Chill in the background if you want. He do be liking to swing, but that's all right. We don't mind that. George is a good guy. Well, you see, that's also the wrong attitude, Kakashi. You must care. You must understand. Like, you really want to know a game, you gotta understand it. You know? Inside, outside, doesn't really matter. You know? You could be living La Vida Loca for all I care, but, you know, you gotta understand it. Because understanding knowledge, that's what makes us better as gamers. That's what makes us different. That's what makes us truly awesome. Alright? You gotta go upside, inside out, living la vida loca, you know?
It's cooking time.
I will post mine by Sunday.
I'll let my guard down. Retrievable. I'll torch it all. Flame on.
I don't care that he looks like Dante. I just like him the way he is. Yes, Tyranids are the ones you fight in SM2, Star.
Perfectly done.
Already on my channel since long ago, Nemesis. Turn YouTube notifications on and you won't miss my videos.
Reload. Looks like we're done.
Oh my god, this stupid thing. This is the only reason I hate farming with Ultimate Blair. I hate touching the waypoints sometimes. It's so annoying.
Cooking time.
Well, it's there, my guy. I posted it pretty quickly because people kept asking and they wanted it. So his farming build is there, Nemesis. It literally says Ultimate Blair farming build. You might want to check that out. If you cannot find videos on my channel, you should be able to use the search function on my channel. Always apply the search function on my channel. Learn how to search a YouTube channel directly. Very important. Because a lot of professional creators will have, or after a few years, they'll build up a lot of videos.
Pissing me off. How was that?
Thank you for the super chat. Just give me a second to address it.
Yeah. And voila. It's cooking time. Right. Good.
Good job, Jamel.
I bet you're feeling the heat.
Thank you, George. Appreciate that, as always. The love is wonderful. Thank you, thank you. It is greatly appreciated. Tisk tisk, Rubee. This is very, very weakness. But don't worry, I will teach you. Alright, here's a simple lesson in searching a person's channel. You know what? I'll show you guys once. But everybody should know how to do this. Now, I'm only showing this on YouTube, so if anyone's on TikTok and wants to see this, you might want to swing over to YouTube. But if you want to search a channel, here's how you do it. Okay, so this is my channel right here,
A
right?
new member has arrived.
When you end up at my channel, and thank you for the memberships, George. When you end up at my channel, do you see that there's home, videos, shorts, lives? Now,
A new member
you can
has
sort of
arrived.
manually browse through the videos in the order that I post them by going through this, all right? If you want to. This is one way to do it. The like shorts,
new member has
lives,
arrived.
all of this is separated, right? But if you want to, if you go all the way to the end here, okay, you see that there? You can literally just
New member has
hit that
arrived.
and search, for example, Ines build, right? So you search that. Then there's several things. So Ines Raya after the nerf, the build for the Void Erosion
new
Purge.
member
I
has
usually always have keywords in any of these videos, so you'll be able to see all of this. So but you do have to scroll a little bit because this is not in the posting order, just so you know. For example, there is the updated farming build for Ines, but take note that although there was Ines after the nerf, the Ines updated build is down here instead. You see? So sometimes you'll have to do this a little bit and scroll down. You can try to be more specific, so you can say updated Ines build like that, and that'll change the rankings of the search to an extent. But for the most part, unfortunately, it doesn't really do that here. All right, it did bring it up above some of the shorts that were listed before, so it slightly changes the order, but this is still down here. So when you search this way, right, it's not often the first result unless you know the exact name of the video. If you search via keywords, then you usually have to scroll down a little bit and find out, because season 2 episode 2 is here. All right. If you want it in order of posting, then just go directly to videos, and this is in complete order of posting. Okay? And there you go. Thank you, George, for the lovely gifted memberships. I appreciate it. I will add you to the list. There we go. Thank you, my friend, for keeping me in business. No problem, Rubee. And look at Star reading lore, educating herself. That's wrong. How dare you educate yourself? Doing that is a crime. Learning is a crime. Remember, never learn. Just be blind. Now let me go see Frey's kill time, actually. Contagion. Sully Sullivan, first of all, you should be at my YouTube channel. All right, in the YouTube chat. And you will need to be one of my top tier stream supporters. That means you've donated the most,
Super chat
or you are one of
received.
the highest level members on my channel. That's how we do it here. If you're not, then I'm sorry. I have very, very strict rules about who I play with. So if you want the privilege of playing with me, then you need to show that you're ride or die for my channel. Simple. Yep, people have seen, and I think they understand. But the majority of us have not seen, so it's fine. And thank you, Rubee, for the lovely super chat. It is always appreciated. Ozzy! I know, right? Her first ever super chat where she did not call me a manlet. Like, I'm just stoked, man. But thank you, Rubee. It is greatly appreciated. Anyway, Star, I hope that the interwebs person does show up, all right? So you can finally get your shit together. Hey, I'd rather take Chadlet, you know? At least that's better in my opinion.
Bird. Melt away.
Now, you see, a lot of people say they like Venom Synthesis, but I don't know. If you ask me, for the 400%, Contagion is way better. For the Sigma sector, Venom Synthesis wins hands down. I agree with that. But here, Contagion is just too good. It's too good, bro. It's 3 good, 5 me. Because the only one where you don't have to think.
Watch your feet. You're all dead.
One batch, 2 batch, penny and dime. Acceptable. I love how Rubee just I know she's doing her best to act, but it's so funny because Reno just became Reno. Oi Reno. Reno. Yes, gifting memberships to others, essentially, Rubee. It lets others experience the joy temporarily of becoming a member of this nation. However, gifted members are awarded no special rights. They just get to use the emotes and whatever.
Melt away. Burn.
No, it's okay, Rubee. Go ahead. Doesn't matter. Don't bother proofreading. It's funny as heck. I remember that Star became Stat, so Rena became Reno.
Watch your feet. This is your grave.
One batch, 2 batch, penny and dime.
How was that? Melt away.
Oh man, he moved his head. But I do like seeing the Vulgus up close, you know?
Watch your feet.
Maybe I'm a little weird for that, but see their faces up close. Look a little bit like a scarecrow. Ah, damn it. He made me miss. Oh, well, he's dead now. Well, if you know about it, yep, they do know what they're doing, but I still think I I still think it's dangerous, Baron. Truly. But everyone's entitled to their opinion, so it's fine. I don't consider anything OP in this game, Mr. Bill. Here's the facts. Anything can be really strong. And some Descendants are always going to be more suited for tasks than others. I don't see that as OP. What's the point in boring balance? We have to complete repetitive tasks over and over. So I, for one, am glad that there are multiple Descendants that can do what I'm doing right now. Finesse, Freyna. OP? No. Don't forget, I have a very optimized build. That's all. A highly specialized build that's allowing me to do this.
Burn. Melt away.
I reckon you guys will be waiting till season 3 to play. That's why I'm just waiting till the mystical one decides to join me. Then at least there'll be somebody to play TFD with me. But it's okay. I do not blame you guys for losing your interest. Unverified, that is for your dog's dismantling. You know how the doggos auto-dismantle items for you? Yeah. That symbol just means that that's the cooldown on their auto-dismantle feature.
Shield is down.
I mean, if you feel that way, Bill, I'm not going to stop you. You can play your game in super Dark Souls hard mode if you want to. But I prefer not to do repetitive tasks and sweat my brains out about it. Your choice, though, Bill. You want to turn this into Dark Souls? You can go ahead, play with no mods, have fun. But don't call this cheesing, all right? That is literally a moronic statement. And I would hope you're more intelligent than that, good sir.
I'm in danger.
I love to max out the dogs fry cook just because the additional mastery, they give you quite a bit. Sure, Unverified, welcome back. At least you've chosen the best channel to follow. We are the greatest in history for a good reason. Fair enough, Rena. Lol, Rubee. That's what we call weakness. My typing on the phone and on the PC is fast as frick, boy. You must learn to go past your weakness. Lol. George is purging Star. No, I have no interest in doing the challenge mode. I'm not sweating for one-time core rewards.
Burn. Shield.
Yeah, Rena types in a weird way. He types only with his middle fingers.
This is your grave.
Oh, Lord Rubee, I actually remember that shit. Any character can be broken, Grox, if you know how to actually build. I mean, the only ones that cry about broken stuff are those that have no clue how to bother building their characters. Which is silly. But hey, people like being silly, don't they? What's my favorite Descendant? I do not have one. Mostly because there's no point in me having a favorite. What I do is I just make efficient builds for everybody. Favorites don't exist for me. Game hasn't even been out for a year, so you haven't played in a year? Here's a thumb for you. Thank you, Lewis. I appreciate your lovely super chat. Very, very kind of you. As always. Swipe to text sounds weird. Just use text to speech, yo. That's the fastest. I mean, sure, it adds mistakes, but, yeah. Types with both. You know, Rena, the funniest thing was that my Chinese colleague used to always, like, when she was mad at me, she'd be all like, yeah, I'm gonna type this message back to you, Sid, with, both my middle fingers. I used to I always remember that. It was pretty damn funny. But yeah, I just like to use a variety, mister. So, I don't have a favorite. Why are you so weak, Rubee? You don't know how to enable text-to-speech on your phone. Ruby's a boomer! But nah, seriously. Like, yo. That feels like the kind of thing that my parents would say. And they in the 70s.
Watch your feet.
But yeah, text-to-speech is useful. Very, very useful. Why are you so weak? Alright, fine. I guess I have to accept your weakness. But yes, do ask about text-to-speech. It will help. Basically, text-to-speech is super simple. You know, when you can do it, just... Can't really remember if I still have the option enabled. Pretty sure I do, but I'll just double check myself. Oh yeah, they moved the button down the bottom, that's right. Okay, can you please, yeah, anyway. Yeah, so they moved the button down the bottom, but it's basically one single button and everything will be typed for me. Now, they almost said everything will be typed for me, but there you go. So I just literally recite that, and there you go. Lol star, you just better be grateful that they arrive. When they finally arrive, you need to be all like, oh, thank you, kind sir, for fixing my crap. You need to ingratiate yourself to them. Yeah, the speech to text works. It's just one button, you push it, you're good. It used to be on the keyboard, but now they moved it to like some awkward space down the bottom. I'm just looking at it, I'm like, okay, so that's where it is. Well, unverified, first and foremost, go get on Ultimate Bunny. Make sure you've built your my Ultimate Bunny build. After that, just farm whatever the hell you want. I would really recommend getting a good bossing character. Serena comes to mind. You can farm her in the Sigma sector once you've got Ultimate Bunny. Start working on your arcade tuning and basically, yeah. But Ultimate Bunny comes first. Fully farm your Ultimate Bunny, then you can farm the rest. Alright? So that is what you're supposed to do. I know hard mode can be kind of confusing, but it's basically it. Start farming everything you want. All your builds, all your stuff, all your gear. But start with Ultimate Bunny and start slowly building her up. Now, you won't have all the external components you need, but just try and get something close to what you've got, and you're good to go. Another big tip is that each week, alright, if you... Hold on. I knew a yawn was coming, but anyway, I'm going to remove my cam for this because I think it's easier to show you this. If you look down the bottom on the map, when you're in hard mode, right, you see down the map this difficulty level rewards, okay? You go in here, and each week, there are some components that you can get, like memories, sensors, auxiliary power. You want to get these external components so you can start your characters off. Now, I know that there are recommended sets, but at least these things can give your characters stats that you need to survive. Level fast, Mr. D? Well, you can go to two places. The Special Operation Hard Mode is one of the best places. The Defense Mission is a really good place for leveling fast, especially if you go in public. A lot of people are usually willing to carry. The other place is usually in the 400%. I like to do them myself, but there's a lot of people that can also carry here, but mostly I do them myself. So that is what I'll say. And that is the method for leveling fast. And Bill, you said you're bored with TFD, but earlier, weren't you the guy that said, hey, you're cheesing, bro? So if you're so bored with TFD, why don't you go play with no mods? That'll spice up your challenge. But if you're not willing to do that, and all you want to do is come here and say, you know, you're bored, or try and disrupt the vibes here, then why are you even at my show? You know? Are you so starved of attention, Bill, that you're coming here to get it? Because here's what's going to happen. All right? Da-da-da-da-da! 24-hour chat ban! And don't let me catch you around here again, Bill. All right? I'll say this here. Anyone that wants to show a bad attitude in my chat, I'll throw you out fast enough. But wait, there's more. You know, just like Bill Mays always says, the fact is that these people are so lonely and starved of attention, they'll just come and sit in our chat because they ain't got a community of their own. You know what we call those kinds of people? Well, I don't really have to say it, do I? Y'all knew those kinds of kids in high school, never fit in anywhere, ain't got no friends, nothing to do with their life, they end up alone. So they're sitting in their room, listening to Simple Plan. I'm just a kid and life is a nightmare. Oh, I'm just a kid, I know that it's not. I bet you they're still listening to Simple Plan up there. Because if you have friends or you have something important to do, you would be spending your time there instead of just randomly sitting somewhere on the internet and just typing in somebody's chat. Like, are you okay, dear sir or ma'am? I swear, people, they make me laugh. Well, did you enjoy the challenge, Rubee? Also, I think Mystic really fell asleep or ditched us. Or rather, she ditched me. I will make her hear about this later. She's going to hear about this. I will be right back, guys. I need to go and charge this because I didn't know that it died. Yeah, I'll put it back in a second. Just had to charge my phone for a little bit. Okay, anyway. If you want to simp for Haley, go ahead, no filter release, but just be aware that she will never return your affections. And if you are thirsty for human affection, please drink water. Okay? But no, I literally turned my cam off, George, to show somebody something. And I turned it back on now when I'm done. I'm a simple man. I've never measured my words per minute. I mean, Rubee, I don't mind a man simping for his favorite video game character, but you gotta admit, you know, if you be simping for pixels, why not go out and get the real deal, you know? Go talk to a lady, find a relationship, have some fun. Have some fun with your life, you know? I mean, it's not hard. Okay, look, guys, it's really not hard to talk to a lady. Look at me. All right, do I look handsome to you? No, I'm freaking ugly, right? So since I am freaking ugly, it is very simple to walk up to a lady. It's not about your looks, all right? I'm 5'6". Most ladies aren't even looking at my eye level. They're looking down on me. So you know what you got to do? You just got to walk up. You just got to walk up to them, all right? You got to get your confidence up. And you know, you just got to say, you got to, you know, take your right hand, all right? Got to have some confidence. Now you got to do it in slow motion like Miles Morales taught you. Get it on the shoulder and say, hey. All right. That's how you do it, all right? You want to talk to a lady? Very simple, all right? You got to do it Miles Morales style. What did his uncle teach him, all right? You got to put the hand out on the shoulder and say, hey. All right? That's how you do it. I mean, come on. But jokes aside, really, you know, jokes aside, okay? Say hello. Be friends with them. Don't be creepy. Don't stare at their features. Okay, you know how to look at the triangle on the face? Everybody knows that, right? Doesn't have to be taught, but just in case you don't know, imagine there's a triangle. This is where your eyes should be. Okay? Literally just talk to them. You'll find that they're human, like you. And if you speak to them, surprise, they will speak back. As long as you're not disrespectful. I mean, if you're literally breathing all over them, then don't expect that reaction. Man, you know, I always tell the story, but back in high school, I didn't even know that, you know, I had game or Riz or whatever you kids call it these days. Ladies just walked up to me and we just hung out, you know, it was cool. You know, we would just like chill in school, hug each other, cuddle, you know, it's just so normal. It's like, I think some people just didn't grow up with normal human interaction. I didn't have a girlfriend back then, but you know, it wasn't hard to just speak to somebody. I mean, and if you're funny, it also helps. Like, I used to drop jokes all the time. It probably helped that I could do Jar Jar Binks really well. I only found out later that they did when I didn't realize back then. So, it's cool, Carlos. I'm just giving some life lessons. It's not that bad, but let's just say that because of the connotation of, I mean, I think you understand, schoolgirls are obviously younger ladies. I think the connotation is pretty negative. That's all, Axome. You don't see it, then, you know, don't worry about that. And I saw it too, Star. It's okay, don't worry. I mean, the truth is that they did, but I just didn't realize that they did, that's all. Because I was dumb. I am intelligent in terms of like maths and stuff, but I'm pretty dumb when it comes to emotions and things like that. I still struggle with it now. But I understand better, at least, I think. A lot of people have tried to teach me stuff. And Kaz has been a big help in teaching me stuff too. So I think I understand better. But honestly, I'm also a very affectionate kind of person. It's just nice. You know, human contact is something you must not underestimate. And when you get an opportunity to genuinely just be touchy-feely with somebody, respectfully, of course, please, it can be a real help.
Shield is down.
The millisecond master, is that what they call you, Rena? I mean, if you're happy enough with the title. At least in my case, they call me a half-a-minute hero, so there's that. Of course, Star would steal that, for sure.
Melt away. This is your grave.
It's the proudest millisecond of my life. Man. Oh, hush, George. I am glad that you are, but damn you and your Longshanks. But yes, I'm 5'6". Laugh it up. Alright. But this Oompa Loompa, alright, knows what he's doing. Well, I gotta admit, I'm glad that he's proud of it, Rubee, you know? But just you wait, George. I have sworn vengeance upon all you tall folk. Alright, I will have my vengeance one day. Ya Longshanks.
Burn.
Lol, Star.
Damn it.
Yeah, you better watch yourself. I'll also have to banhammer you. Okay? Be very, very careful. Anyway, y'all ladies are filthy. Why are you ladies like this? I mean, I understand Star, but you know. Lol, Rubee, you just logged on just to look at gamer tags and laugh. You weirdo. Oh, it's okay, Carlos. I know that, but you know what? I will always swear vengeance upon the tall, because it is their very nature that tells me they must be destroyed. Their existence is bad for business. Okay. And lol, I just saw what Rena said. If 2 millimeters is big, we could have used that in HD2 to call in bombardments, those things. Lol. I'll just forever remember we tossed the 380 and then Star just gets blown up. Like she deserves. Throw 380, boom. Never you mind, Eduardo, you don't need to worry about that. Probably because I'm gonna murder you and your entire family for that, Doc. You know, I mean, I appreciate the super chat today, but, yep, you're dead. All you tall ones shall be, adjusted.
Melt away.
You won't be assimilated. You will not be... You will not be treated kindly. No, you will be adjusted. Getting that time of night.
This is your grave.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Those who are tall must understand that it is a sin. It is a grave, grave thing that they bear. And due to that, they must therefore be adjusted.
Shield is down.
Adjustments will always be made. You know, just like we have balancing patches, we just need to balance them out, okay? That's all.
How about that?
Wow, Rubee, why are you so filled with vengeance? All right. What do he do to you? I mean, poor Mystic went through a lot because of hers, so what do yours do to you? You don't have to share it if you feel uncomfortable sharing it, but I'm just curious now. Or you just want him eliminated for no reason. Nice, George. I mean, I'm glad that you and your family have tall genetics. Damn. Well, that sounds rough, Rubes. You gotta find better taste in men. I'm just saying. Damn. Listen, I will put all the sins on you, okay, Star? On a scale of 1 to you are a sinner, okay, you are a super sinner. Okay, guys, it's that late time of night, and I know that it's time for many people to start dipping. But before you all start dipping dots, y'all want to hear some musical previews? I'm gonna let you hear some crazy stuff. Are you ready? Are you ready? Nah, I'm just kidding. I started working on lo-fi, so some of y'all might want to hear some of that. Okay, I'll just give y'all a little sample. I need to figure out which one it is, but... Here you go. I started making my first lo-fi today. I'm branching out to even more music genres, by the way.
You're my heart, the one that got away. Now I'm left with this pain. You were my everything. I need you, but you're not here with me. Lost in an ocean of memory. I need you, but you're not here with me. Lost in an ocean of memory. All the good times that we had and all the moments that we shared, I would take it all back, but it's all too late. You're not here with me. Lost in an ocean of memory. I need you, but you're not here with me. Lost in an ocean of memory.
Like all my music, obviously, you know I'm gonna do the sad stuff, but yeah, I was pretty proud of myself. Learned how to work on some lo-fi today, so it was pretty good. So yeah, as you can see, I'm branching into more and more new genres, testing out different things, experimenting with sounds, but yeah, I hope you guys look forward to it. And Rena, I'm glad you're having fun with that. Please do enjoy that chess piece. And listen, I hope that all of you, I wish you all well on your relationships, all right? Just keep at it. All right. I'm just glad you're all stronger for it and wilder for it. And what are you on the sin scale, George? Anybody above 5'6" is just, there's no sin scale. It's just everybody above 5'6" is, you know, absolute sinner in my eyes, George. But it's okay. Listen, I will grant all family members honorary short status. My love can be bought, so don't worry. I know. I'm pretty sure a lot of you will like my song. Like, I was listening to this lo-fi. I'm going to get an expert to help me out with some of them. But, you know, like today I was just experimenting with some sounds and I was like, hey, this is pretty good. It actually sounds legit. Then I put some of my lyrics on it and I just spaced out the words a lot. So like normally I write like the verses, the chorus and all that. But I just wrote like just the verse because lo-fi doesn't have chorus anyway. So I'm just gonna, you know, I just like put it all there and then boom, you know, it said, hey, it's working. And the mid-sized guys, Baron, listen, all of you are, look, you're either part of the short club, 5'6" and below, or you're part of the tall club. So sorry, there's no in-between club. There's no mid-sized club. But yeah, I was just having fun with some tunes earlier, you know. Well, I mean, I just always have. I don't know. It's not supposed to, right? Yeah, well, I mean, I guess it does, but it's just usually like repeated stuff. It's not like a full-on, I mean, it's different. I don't know, maybe I'm understanding it wrong. But for me, I always thought lo-fi doesn't really, it's not really like music. It's more like, it's all about that slow, low beat. And if you're going to put vocals on it, it's supposed to just be like very ethereal type vocals, which is what I went for. You know, I didn't really think too hard about it. So I just wrote some stuff and, you know, just put it out there. I've written more, but I sent it to the expert first. I don't want to reveal too much. It's just a little preview.
A new member has arrived.
But yeah, no, I do like the stuff. I do like the stuff. Like before that, I just did tunes with no actual and I show you there's no actual lyrics in the tunes. Cause I thought lo-fi, like when I was experimenting with the sounds first, I didn't put any lyrics on it. Let me see if this one is, yeah, this one. I was just doing this. Something like that. No lyrics. But I like it better with lyrics, you know what I'm saying? So that kind of sound was what I was doing before, and I was just messing with it. But then I wanted to actually like put some words to it. So today I tried experimenting, and I was just really pleasantly surprised by how it turned out. You know, like I said, I sent the real deal to an expert to get expert feedback. But overall, I was pretty happy with what I did, and you know, it's all like, hey, it's not bad. You know, it's not horrifying. So, and of course, like you said, when I showed you guys the preview of my very, very sad lo-fi. So yeah. Yeah, it's supposed to sound that way, you know, Rubee. It's very, I love lo-fi for relaxation, you know, but there's very few good lo-fi songs out there that's copyright free or that's like that people can really relax to. So I'm hoping like to branch into that a little bit. My tunes out there can, you know, help some people relax. Although it won't be copyright free. But, you know, since it's AI generated, eh. Well, Doc, you've only joined at the first level. You really want to join? You got to join at the highest level. When you're rich, of course. And then that day is when you will be exempted from being annihilated for being taller than me. But until now, until then, sorry, not until now, until then, I still welcome you among us. Well, at least now you do understand. But yes, Star is very, very tall. But I will headbutt her kneecaps and bring her down to size. I'll just charge up and then... All right, forgot to turn on the music. You don't need to know, Doc.
Burn. Watch your feet.
Just know that she is tall. The Chadlet kneecapper super move? Yes. I basically fill my overdrive gauge and then I unleash the ultra kneecapper. Lol. No. I will not. Those kneecaps shall be assaulted immediately. You know what? That suddenly reminds me. Did you guys hear about that peanut that went to the hospital? Yeah. They said he was assaulted. Get it? Get it? Oh, Lord. Terrible jokes. But somehow the conversation reminded me of it.
Ah, my shield.
One batch, two batch, penny and dime. Here I come.
How was that?
One batch, two batch, penny and dime. Lol. Yeah, I kind of knew who it was meant for. That's what amuses me. Oh man, it's starting to get late. I guess we should bow out soon. It is a lovely Friday after all. People have had their say in the polls. Let's take a look. So far, we're at 59% that said no, they haven't seen the vid, and 15% don't want to know anyway, which is fair. But 21% have seen the vid, and they said the gooners are out of control. Only 3% said it made them uncomfortable. Very interesting. I would have thought more people would have stated that, but you know. Excuse me. All right, fair enough. It is interesting to see people's perspective on this, but the fact that the majority are unaware is also fine. But yes, just for anyone that did want to know, the main issue is just that, look, people seem to be taking certain things in the wrong direction, and when that becomes literally all that we are about, when it becomes all that we are and who we are, and if that's our identity as players of this game, then that's not very good. And I would hope that we can do better. Listen, I gotta go vote tomorrow as well. FYI, tomorrow morning there is a shorter stream. I think I'll still be able to work, but in case you don't see a stream tomorrow, it's because I have to go vote in my elections as well. So take note of that. All right, tomorrow morning I have to go vote in my elections as well, so be aware of that. Okay, thank you very much for joining me today. It's been an absolute pleasure. Appreciate all the super chats, the memberships, and all that. But tomorrow morning I'll probably be playing some. I'll either be playing Monster Hunter or some Last Epoch. I haven't decided yet. Probably going to be some Last Epoch, but we will see. Thank you all very much, you kind souls, and I'll see you guys then, all right? Don't do anything weird while I'm gone, and I'll catch you later.